We're counting down the 15 slot machines that ex-casino employees say you should never play. From new games that can wipe out your bankroll in minutes to classics hiding the worst odds on the floor, these picks reveal the most deceptive designs, hidden payout traps, and psychological tricks targeting everyday players. Some may look harmless or even familiar, but each earned its spot for a reason. Which machine lands at number 1? Let's start the countdown with number 15. Number 15 is the Megaway-style high-variance video slot. These machines are built around a dynamic reel system, with the number of pay lines changing on every spin, sometimes climbing past 100,000 possible ways to win. At first glance, this can look exciting, but the reality is far less forgiving for most players, especially those with a fixed bankroll. The core issue is volatility. On a Megaway slot, it's not uncommon to go 50 spins or more without hitting a meaningful payout. Even when a win finally lands, it often fails to cover the ground lost during those long, dry spells. For older players who want steady entertainment and predictable returns, these machines are a minefield. The promise of massive jackpots comes at the cost of frequent, extended losing streaks that can drain your session funds before you even see a bonus round. If you prefer a more reliable experience, classic fixed payline slots offer better odds of regular paybacks and less risk of sudden devastating losses. Number 14 is Tiki Fire, a slot machine that's earned a reputation among insiders for a subtle trick known as the loss disguised as win. On Tiki Fire, whenever you land a combination that pays back less than your original bet, say you wager $1 and get back 50 cents, the machine still erupts in celebratory sounds and flashing lights. The effect is intentional. Studies in gambling labs have shown that these high-pitched chimes and bright animations trigger the same dopamine response as a real win, even when you're actually losing money. Researchers found that players exposed to these so-called LDWs, or losses disguised as wins, play up to 20% longer than those on machines without them. The psychology is simple. The machine keeps you feeling lucky, even as your balance quietly drops. On Tiki Fire, spotting an LDW is easy. If the payout is less than your bet, but the game still celebrates, you're looking at a loss disguised as a win. The safest move is to count only the spins where you truly come out ahead, and don't let the noise fool you into thinking you're beating the odds. Number 13 is Cash Eruption, a title that sparked waves of online rumors about being secretly rigged. Viral social media posts claim the machine is programmed to cheat regulars, but these exposés never show actual evidence. No par sheets, no regulatory filings, just stories. In real-world casinos, every slot, including Cash Eruption, must be approved by state regulators like the Nevada Gaming Control Board. The official filings list only the model's approval and its available RTP settings, not any secret tweaks or hidden odds. If you want to check whether a machine is fair, start with the pay table printed right on the cabinet. Take note of the minimum and maximum bets, the listed payouts for each symbol, and whether there's a posted return-to-player percentage. For deeper verification, you can ask the casino's compliance office for a printout, or look up the machine's approval status in public NGCB databases. Sensational claims might travel fast, but without hard data, like a certified par sheet or compliance report, they're just noise. The safest habit is to demand proof before believing any rumor, and to rely on published evidence, not hearsay, when judging a slot's fairness. Number 12 is 88 Fortunes, a slot that's become a mainstay in nearly every major casino. Walk through any Las Vegas property and you'll spot banks of these machines lining the corridors between buffet lines and main entrances, areas that see the heaviest flow of seniors and tourists. The appeal is obvious: bright red graphics, Asian-themed symbols, and a minimum bet that seems harmless at just a penny per line. But there's a hidden cost to that convenience. Penny versions of 88 Fortunes are often configured with a return-to-player percentage hovering around 88%, which means for every $100 wagered, the machine is designed to keep 12. By comparison, dollar slots on the same floor might offer returns as high as 94%. Casino operators know exactly who they're targeting with these placements, players looking for a low-commitment game and a little entertainment after lunch. The reality is, machines in these high-traffic zones are rarely the best value on the floor. For those watching their bankroll, it pays to step away from the buffet line and seek out less obvious machines with higher denominations and better odds. Number 11 is Kitty Glitter, a slot that's been quietly reshuffled across casino floors for over a decade. The name and graphics stay the same, but what's under the hood can be wildly different. IGT, the manufacturer, offers Kitty Glitter in multiple cabinet generations, each with a range of return-to-player settings, some as low as 85%, others as high as 96%. Older cabinets, often found in back corners or less trafficked areas, tend to run at the lower end of that spread. Newer models, which might look identical at first glance, are sometimes set closer to the higher return percentages. The catch is that you can't tell the difference just by looking at the title or the reels. The real clue is a small ID sticker or plate, usually found on the side or front of the cabinet, listing the model number and denomination. That information links to the machine's certified settings, which casinos select from the manufacturer's approved options. For players, this means two machines with the same name could have a gap of 10% or more in long-term payback. Before you sit down, take a moment to check the model and denomination. You might save yourself from playing a version that's designed to hold much more of your money than you expect. Number 10 isn't a slot machine at all, but a system that touches every player. TITO, or ticket in, ticket out. For years, these printed vouchers have replaced coins and tokens, promising a faster, cleaner way to cash out. But for many older players, TITO systems come with their own set of headaches. Casino complaint logs show a steady rise in disputes tied to voucher misreads and kiosk confusion, especially during peak hours when lines grow and patience wears thin. Decimal errors, where a ticket's value is read as $10 instead of $100, are rare, but when they happen, they can spark long, stressful arguments at the cashier's cage. Most issues, though, are simpler. Tickets that won't scan, or confusion over split payouts when a kiosk prints a second voucher for leftover cents. Ex-cashiers say the busiest times bring the most mistakes, with some guests leaving behind unclaimed winnings or missing out on jackpots because of a misread ticket. The safest habit is to double-check every voucher before leaving the machine, watch the decimal point, and if a kiosk rejects your ticket, head straight to the main cage for a manual scan. It's a small step, but it can keep your winnings in your pocket and out of the lost and found bin. Number 9 is Double Diamond Progressive, a machine that draws in players with its classic three-reel design and familiar symbols, promising a taste of old Vegas. For many, these cabinets feel like a safe bet, a throwback to simpler times. But beneath the retro look, the math tells a different story. Historical par sheets show that double diamond progressives are often set to return as little as 88 to 92% of wagers, which means the house edge is far steeper than most realize. Unlike modern video slots, these machines rarely display their return-to-player percentage, and casinos take advantage by placing them in the quieter back rows or along the casino's periphery, areas where regulars go looking for a bit of nostalgia. According to ex-slot floor supervisors, these placements aren't random. Operators know that players drawn to the classics are less likely to question the odds, especially when the machine's payback details are hidden from plain sight. The next time you spot a double diamond progressive tucked away from the main aisles, remember, the vintage appeal comes with a hidden cost. Don't let the old-school charm distract you from the numbers. Number 8 is hidden reel strip weighting, a design detail that most players never notice, but that quietly tilts the odds against you. On many slot machines, the reels you see spinning on the screen don't tell the whole story. Each reel is mapped to a much longer virtual strip inside the game's programming, with certain symbols, especially jackpots, appearing just once or twice among dozens of stops. For example, a top jackpot symbol might occupy only 1 out of 40 possible positions on a virtual reel, while lower-paying symbols show up far more often. This means that even when it looks like a jackpot is just one position away, the real chance of landing it is far slimmer than your eyes suggest. Manufacturers file detailed math documents with regulators, spelling out exactly how these reels are weighted, but this information rarely makes it to the casino floor. If you want to know your true odds, ask for the pay table printout or look up the machine's math summary when possible. Relying on what you see can be a costly mistake. Always check the documentation before you play. Number 7 is Quick Hit, a familiar sight on casino floors that hides its biggest catch in the fine print. The pay table promises eye-popping multipliers and jackpot payouts, but there is a catch buried in the eligibility rules. Those top payouts only trigger if the special symbols land in perfectly stacked, adjacent positions across the reels. On most versions, the highest multiplier or bonus is not paid just for collecting enough quick-hit symbols anywhere. They must line up in a specific formation, often in a tight cluster. The odds of this happening are far slimmer than the bright graphics suggest. Manufacturer math documents confirm that while stacks of quick hit or multiplier symbols appear frequently on some reels, the crucial end reels are programmed with fewer of these symbols, making a full-screen win almost impossible. This design tricks the eye and encourages more spins, but the math is clear. Unless every required symbol lands in just the right spot, the top prize stays out of reach. Before playing any quick-hit machine, take a close look at the pay table and the wording around multipliers. If you see rules about stacked or adjacent symbols, know that the real odds are stacked in the casino's favor. Number 6 is Five Dragons, a slot that's quietly become infamous among casino regulars for its use of near-miss psychology. On the surface, Five Dragons looks like any other video slot: bright reels, colorful dragons, and a bonus that promises big returns. But what sets it apart is the way it handles almost wins. The game's designers built in elaborate near-miss animations, so whenever you land 2 bonus symbols with the third just missing, the reels shudder, lights flash, and the screen lingers on what could have been. According to internal documents from Aristocrat, these effects are legal as long as the outcome is random, but they're no accident. One ex-designer who worked on the original Five Dragons release described heated debates within the team. Some felt the near-miss visuals would unfairly pull older players into longer sessions, while others argued it was just part of the entertainment. The result? Players are drawn in, convinced the next spin might be the one. For those looking to avoid this mental trap, the best defense is to remember that every spin stands alone. No matter how close it looks, the odds don't change. Don't let the game's drama convince you to keep chasing what's just out of reach. Number 5 is Monopoly Millionaire, a machine that trades on nostalgia and brand loyalty, but at a hidden cost. Every time a player spins the reels, a portion of their wager goes straight to covering the licensing fee for that familiar Monopoly name. Industry audits have shown that branded slots like Monopoly, Wizard of Oz, and other TV or movie tie-ins consistently return 1 to 3% less to players than similar non-branded games. For example, a generic penny slot might offer a 90% return to player, while a branded version in the same casino is set at 87 or 88%. That difference isn't just a rounding error. It means the house edge is systematically higher, and your bankroll drains faster over time. The reason is simple. Licensing costs are built directly into the game's math. Regulatory filings and manufacturer summaries confirm the pattern. Whenever you choose a branded slot, you're not just paying for the entertainment, you're subsidizing the brand. For players hoping to stretch their session or chase better odds, it pays to look past the familiar logos and choose a generic title with a higher posted return. Lightning Link has become a magnet for attention on casino floors, but not for reasons that favor careful players. The machine's volatility is punishing. Long stretches without significant wins, followed by rare, outsized jackpots. What most guests don't realize is that the largest prizes, including the grand progressive jackpot, are only available if you're betting the maximum. This detail is often buried in the pay table, but casino hosts are trained to make it explicit. According to 2020 to 2023 host training materials, staff are encouraged to say, if you want a real shot at the grand, make sure you're playing max bet. The script goes further, prompting hosts to remind guests that jackpots don't usually hit on the minimum. For older players, this creates a double hazard. Not only is your bankroll at risk from the game's steep swings, but you're also exposed to subtle social pressure from staff nudging you toward bigger bets. The combination of mathematical risk and interpersonal encouragement can lead to faster, more painful losses than most realize. If you find yourself on Lightning Link, remember that the odds are stacked high, and the pressure to bet big isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's part of the design. Wheel of Fortune slots have been a fixture in casinos for decades, drawing crowds with their instantly recognizable logo and the promise of a giant jackpot. But there's a catch that trips up even seasoned players. The famous wheel spin, the feature everyone chases, is locked behind a max bet requirement. Play anything less and the bonus wheel stays dark, no matter how lucky the reels look. This detail is rarely front and center on the machine's signage. Instead, bright lights and familiar branding do the heavy lifting, luring players with the idea that any spin could trigger the big event. Since 2015, casino floor maps show these machines lined up along main aisles, always at eye level, right where the most foot traffic passes. Slot floor supervisors, including one with over a decade at MGM, confirm these placements weren't random. They were part of a strategy to maximize revenue from guests who trust the brand. For those who want to avoid the trap, the best move is to check the pay table for any max bet clauses before spinning. When a machine makes you pay extra just to qualify for the main feature, it's rarely a good deal in the long run. Buffalo Gold Penny Edition draws steady crowds with its promise of big wins for a small investment, but the numbers tell a different story. Penny versions of Buffalo Gold are typically set to the lowest available return to player, with Nevada Gaming Control Board filings listing an average RTP of just 88.1%. For every $100 wagered, only about 88 is paid back over the long run. That's not the only catch. The bonus round, the feature most players chase, triggers less than 3% of the time on the penny setup. In fact, internal math summaries and ex-technician accounts confirm a bonus trigger rate of only 2.7%. One retired slot mechanic recalled every week the same regulars would complain they'd play for hours and never see a bonus. The penny machines were the worst for it. The illusion of cheap play hides a relentless loss engine, quietly draining bankrolls while players wait for a bonus that almost never arrives. For those looking to stretch their session, even a nickel or quarter version offers better odds and more frequent features than the Penny Buffalo Gold. It's a daily trap that keeps the house ahead, and that's why it lands at number 2 on this list. Megabucks stands alone as the ultimate cautionary tale for anyone dreaming of a life-changing jackpot. The numbers behind this machine are sobering: only 0.1 to 0.3% of every dollar. Bet actually feeds the progressive prize pool, a fraction negotiated between IGT and regulators. That means for every $1,000 wagered, just $1 to $3 goes toward the headline jackpot. The rest is swallowed by the house. Hitting the top prize isn't just unlikely, It's almost unfathomable. The odds of lining up the winning combination hover near 1 in 50 million, a figure confirmed by both manufacturer math sheets and ex-progressive techs with years on the floor. One technician recalled tracking months of play before seeing a single jackpot hit statewide. For older players, the pain isn't just in the math, it's in the steady drain of retirement savings, all for a dream that's statistically out of reach. The safest choice is to skip the progressive chase and look for games where your money lasts longer and your odds are at least within sight. From the deceptive volatility of Megaways video slots to the near impossible odds of Megabucks, this countdown has exposed 15 of the most punishing slot machines on real casino floors. The most shocking entries, like Buffalo Gold Penny Edition with its sub 3% bonus rate, and Megabucks, where the odds of hitting the jackpot hover around 1 in 50 million, reveal just how stacked the deck can be against everyday players. Across all entries, clear patterns emerged: hidden payout rules, psychological tricks like loss disguised as wins and near misses, brand licensing fees quietly slashing returns, and strategic placement designed to lure older players. Each machine on this list qualified due to a combination of poor mathematical value, misleading presentation, or targeted risk to seniors. The broader truth is that far from being simple games of luck, today's slots are engineered to maximize playtime and minimize payout, often at the expense of those least able to spot the traps. Understanding these patterns isn't just about avoiding bad machines, it's about seeing the real mechanics behind the glitz. In the world of slots, knowledge is your best defense.